Hey guys, let's talk about the competitive mindset, what it takes to play to win. I'm going to assume most of you are competitive. Most of you play Crucible with the intention of winning. If so, we're off to a good start. So here's a question for you. Is there anything in the Crucible you consider cheap? Maybe something that you'd say requires no skill? Something like The Last Word, Thorn, Universal Remote, Mida Multitool, Amplitude Thunderstrike, No Backup Plans plus Shotgun, Shade Step, Tracking Grenades, Snipers Who Hardscope, or maybe something else entirely. I'd be willing to bet that at one time or another you've been killed by one of those things and thought, man, of course that no-skill player is using that. I can't believe I'm losing to something so cheap. And maybe you weren't so polite about it? That's okay, you're not alone. We've all thought it, said it. Maybe a few of us have sent angry messages afterwards. Not me, of course. Other people. But if you're a competitive player, you need to break out of that mindset. It is severely limiting your ability to get better. For 3 reasons. 1, you start associating certain skills, weapons, or tactics with bad players, and stop using them yourself. Destiny doesn't really care how you win your games. Destiny doesn't give you bonus points for using your primary, or for playing a weaker subclass. You either win or you lose, and if you're playing to win, you should use any resource available to do so. 2, you prevent yourself from practicing certain skills. You might think shotgun rushing with Universal Remote is a no-skill strategy. However, there are a number of skills you need to master to utilize Universal Remote effectively. You need to be able to aim down sights quickly. You need to be able to center your reticle on their head at close range. You need to be able to close distance, which means playing more actively, jumping, sliding, blinking, and knowing the map. By taking this holier-than-thou stance and refusing to play with the gun, you're handicapping your loadout and your personal skill set as a gamer. 3, you shift accountability from yourself onto someone else. You tell yourself, you couldn't have done anything differently. You couldn't have possibly played any better to prevent that loss. But the truth is, of course, that you could have. Either by playing with a different loadout, or hitting every single one of your headshots, or playing in a different area of the map, or maybe there's some other aspect of your gameplay that needs improvement. By blaming your death or your loss on cheap tactics, you rob yourself of growth. The best players in Destiny get better by watching their own gameplay, outlining their mistakes, and fixing those mistakes in the next game, and not by complaining and feeling sorry for themselves. So, if you see a gun or a tactic used constantly in the Crucible, you have to ask yourself, if you know they're just using the same tactics over and over and over again, why can't you counter them? And if it's so difficult to counter those tactics, why aren't you using them? And if you do use them, and it isn't working for you for some reason, maybe there's some aspect of your game that you can improve on. Maybe you should. Just to be clear, there is absolutely nothing wrong with playing for fun. Bust out that Fabian strategy. Use guns you like with subclasses and exotics that you like. That's great. But if you do play for fun, it's not really fair to get mad at other people when they play to win. The Crucible is, at its core, a competitive game type, especially in game modes like Iron Banner, Rumble, or Trials of Osiris. Anyway, that's enough about competitive theory for now. If you liked what I talked about, there is a link in the description to a free book that goes more in depth than I ever could. And full disclosure, no, this is not sponsored. I just really liked the book. And if you want to see more videos in this format, let me know. Don't worry, I'm still working on my comprehensive breakdown for Handcannons. I just didn't want to leave you guys hanging until next week when I'm going to hopefully be done editing it. It's a lot of editing. Now, on to the outro.
Hey, I hope you liked my video. If you did, give it a like, and if you want to see more, you can always click here, or here, or you can always subscribe. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.